What's going on, YouTube? This is wwjoshdew, and today is an exciting day. I woke up a little late, and apparently a lot of comments, a lot of tweets. Everybody's telling me the CyanogenMod released their nightly today for CM12. And one thing I'm curious about is I have an application called Lightflow. I'm on stock 501, and I am rooted. So with Lightflow, I'm able to have an LED. There's already an LED there, but I'm able to enable that LED. So I wonder with CyanogenMod if you can enable the LED as well. So we're going to find out today. But anyways, on Chrome, I have this thing called Page Notifier or something like that. It just tells me of web page changes, and I have it set to inform me of new devices in CyanogenMod. And apparently the Shamu was put on there today, and I'm very excited about that. This is the Nexus 6. This is the Google Play. I got this from the Google Play Store, and so it's called the Shamu. Anyways, let's get into this. Well, let's go to settings here. Let's go to about device, and you'll see we are on official 601. So at the moment, we do not have custom recovery. All we have is a stock 501 ROM and root access. So with root access, I'm able to install an app called Flashify and flash recovery to my device. If you do not have root access, if you do not see Super SU in your app drawer, you are not rooted. You will not be able to use this method. You will need to go to your computer, reboot this device into Fastboot, Fastboot flash recovery, open script, twerp, blah, 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 press enter, and then you will have recovery. So we're going to go ahead and open up Flashify. I don't know if I have it. I do have it, sweet. But you can download it from the Google Play Store if you do not have it already. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go to recovery. Whoops, my bad. Go to recovery image and then download twerp. And then it's going to show you twerp, and you'll just choose the very latest one. If you're watching this video in months down the road, then you're going to go ahead and download whatever one's the newest. So 2831 is the newest as of today. So there's going to be a little countdown thing, and then it's going to download. Just wait for it to count down all the way, and then it'll start downloading. Alright, so once it's done downloading, you'll see this little screen right here, and you'll just press yep. You want to go ahead and flash it. And now we have recovery. You can choose reboot now, or you could choose flash more. So there we go. And it says we just flashed this image. Okay, I like to explain everything thoroughly, go into detail, and be in depth. So I'm going to explain some things. I know someone's going to comment, why would you put CyanogenMod on a Nexus device? And my answer to that is it's simple. When I hold the power button down, I only have power off. And the moment I tap that, my phone's going to instantly power off. Also, I don't have a battery percentage. There is no little number there. I cannot set it to put a number. Also, when I go to my recent apps here, you're going to see that I have no way of just clearing everything out. I have to go through here and swipe everything away. And I like just pressing one button to have everything gone. It's very nice. So you get the little battery circle with percentage or a little bar. You have reboot options. You have clear all apps. There's just a lot of things about CyanogenMod that I do like. Also, that LED might be enabled in CyanogenMod where it's not enabled on stock at the moment. They could release 502 tomorrow that enables the LED because clearly it has one, and you have to use an application that requires root access to enable it on stock Android. Also, another thing I did before recording this video was I backed everything up. You see, I have everything backed up as of today. All I did was hit this little option right here, and then I chose backup all user apps, and then I hit the little check mark there. And you're going to see that it put all that on my internal storage. Emulated legacy titanium backup. Now I do have Google Fiber, so uploading won't take very long, but I don't really want to spend all that time uploading. So I have this little thing here that I did a video on a while back. It's called a Minova micro SD card reader. I have it on me at all times in case I need to transfer a file back and forth. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in the bottom of my Nexus 6 here. This is not required, by the way. If you make a backup of your phone and then you install this ROM, I like to format my phone completely. That way there's absolutely nothing left over from the previous ROM when I install the new ROM. Now, formatting your internal storage is completely optional. It's something you do not have to do, but I like to do it. So whenever you do that, you'll see that our internal storage here is going to be like reset. That little bar is going to be smaller because we're going to have more internal storage. So all the backups are on our internal storage. Let's go to ES File Explorer and let's open it up. And then we can't choose. That's another thing about CyanogenMod. You'll see that my micro SD card right here is not being detected by this. I've got to go here. I've got to go to USB storage. I've got to go to 32 gigs. And there it is. There's all my stuff. So I'm going to, I don't know what device this was to. It's probably really, really old. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this folder here that's on that. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my internal storage. And then I'm going to find the titanium backup folder. And I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to move it to USB storage and paste it. That way, all of my stuff is being transferred over. Anyways, what it was supposed to do was take everything that's on my internal storage and move it to my SD card. But that's not happening at the moment. I'm not sure what the issue is. All right, so I'm gonna create a new folder on my SD card, and I'm gonna name it Titanium Backup with 0 stuff in it. And then I'm gonna open up the Titanium Backup app, and you see where it says emulated, like I showed you earlier. If I include that, I may not include that. We're gonna go to Preferences. We're gonna go to Backup Folder Location. We're gonna press the back button, and we're gonna choose USB storage right here. And then we're gonna choose 32 gigs, and then we're gonna choose Titanium Backup, use current folder. And do you want to move? No, I do not want to move. I'll go back. We'll open Titanium Backup again. You'll see now that it says USB storage, 32 gigs. Let's go to the batch option. We'll hit backup all user apps. Hit the checkbox. And the little LED on the bottom of this thing, you can see that right there. It is flashing and it is backing up all of our stuff to that external storage. You do not need the external storage. I'm going to wipe my internal storage. That way I start 100% fresh and there's absolutely nothing left over from the previous ROM. Wiping your internal storage is completely optional, but I do it every time I flash a new ROM. That way the stuff that's on my previous ROM, like on my stock phone here, won't also carry over to my CyanogenMod ROM. I will be able to just restore the apps from the backups I'm creating right now, and I'll be able to restore what I want instead of having everything left over. So I'm going to go ahead and let this finish up here. All right, so we made a backup of all of our stuff. As you can see, the backup was about 1247. It did take quite a while because some of my apps are very, very big, and I have mine set to back up all of the data. So backup app external data. This is not enabled by default. Usually it's enabled if it's smaller than a certain size, but that means if you have the app and you restore it, you have to download all that app data again. So I just prefer to go ahead and back it all up. I got plenty of space, so not the end of the world. And I have it set to compress at the smallest size possible, which does take quite a while longer. Okay, so now all of our apps are backed up and they're going to our external storage. Like I said earlier, that is important because when I flash this ROM, I'm going to be completely resetting the internal storage. So there's absolutely not a single megabyte being used by anything. So now let's get started. Let's get into this. We need to download CyanogenMod. We already flashed the recovery. We backed up all of our apps. Now we need to download CyanogenMod. All right, so I tweeted a link to the CyanogenMod for the Nexus 6. I'm going to find that. I will have this in the description so you don't have to go through all of my tweets to find it. But for some reason that doesn't work right. I have to use the freaking... Well, actually, I really like this app, but I have to use this. So I will go to my tweets here. There we go. No freaking way. The Nexus 6 got its first CyanogenMod. So I'm going to go to this link right here. This will be in the description, so you don't have to worry about it. And it's going to launch this web page here. And you're going to want to flash the one at the very top. Today's the first day. I'm providing you with this video mere hours after this is posted. So it would have been done sooner, but I had errands to do. But anyways, Nightlies happen almost every night. Not every night. Sometimes it'll go with a night or two without one, but most nights there will be an update. You do not have to go on there and flash them each and every day. You can miss a day or two. It's fine. It really is. You can even go a week without flashing a nightly. It's not a bad deal. If you see one that says M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, it'll say it right here. Instead of nightly, it'll say monthly. You flash that, or a milestone. Flash that, because once a month those happen, and those are more stable than the nightly. And you only got to flash them once a month instead of every night. You know, you can't flash every night. It's up to you. So you'll want to flash a milestone instead of a nightly if they become available. It'll say CM12 and it'll say M1 or M2 or M3 or whatever. Make sure it doesn't say CM11, because then you're backtracking to KitKat. I'm sure there won't be CM11 for this phone, but yeah, make sure it's flash CyanogenMod 12. If you see RC0, RC1, RC2, that's a release candidate, so that's going to be more stable than a monthly. And if you see a stable version of CyanogenMod 12, which will take a very long time, it'll just say CM12 and then Shamu zip. That's all it'll say. And right here, you'll also know what type it is. So flash a nightly if that's our only option. Flash a milestone, which is the M1, M2, M3, M4, etc., if that's available. Or flash a release candidate if that's available, or the stable. So flash them in that order. Obviously, right now, we only have the nightly option, so we're going to go ahead and download that one. And then we're going to... You could choose Chrome, but I use ES File Explorer, which also has a download manager, which is pretty good. So it'll download this file here. It will put it in our downloads folder. I'm going to go ahead and move it to the external storage, because I'm going to wipe my internal storage to flash this. Now, this is very important. If you do not have one of these little $10 adapters right here, they're like 10 bucks. If you do not have one, do not wipe your internal storage. If you wipe your internal storage, you will not be able to flash this ROM. So don't do it. So it downloaded it. I'm going to go to the CM12 here. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to go to my external storage, which is USB storage, 32 gigs, and then paste. For some reason, flashing, so I'm going to have to do it from the computer, but I don't know why that's messing up. ES File Explorer is just not working right today, but I'm going to move that file to my external storage because I'm going to be flashing it from there. If you do not have an external storage device, you'll want to flash it from the internal, and you do not want to wipe your internal storage. Otherwise, your backups that you made will be gone. If you do an Android, that'll be gone. Everything will be gone unless you have one of these little guys right here. Now I'm going to go to the computer real quick and transfer that file over to this guy. And we're back. Sorry about that. I know this is going to be a second to you, but trust me, it took a few minutes. I transferred over the CM12 latest nightly, always download the very latest one, and then I also flashed I put the G apps on there. I will have a link in the description to the G apps. You can download both the CM12 and the G apps on your phone if you do not plan on wiping your internal storage, or you can download them on here if you want to wipe your internal storage. So I'm going to go ahead and power the phone off, and now we get to the actual installation part that will take a little bit. It doesn't take long to install. This is very exciting. So volume down and the power button. Hold that until you see this screen, and then press volume down until you see recovery mode, and then press power. So here we should see also you do need your bootloader unlocked, and I have a video showing how to do that. Please enter my password. What in the world? I don't know what that was, but there you go. Okay, so I highly recommend doing this, and I might even do it myself. Okay, so plug in your little thing. Trust me, if you do not have one of these, please buy one. You don't have to buy one, but trust me, it is extremely helpful to have your phone completely backed up on an external storage device. So go to backup, choose system, data, boot. Don't choose recovery, don't choose cache, and choose EFS. Change it to USB OTG if you have one like I do, and then press OK. And also, you'll want to make sure you put in the password. So let's actually go ahead and do that. All right, so we have a password entered. This just means that someone else that finds this can't restore this on their Nexus 6 and have my Google account, all my passwords and everything. So let's enter that again. All right, let's hit go. Now we have using encryption. We're going to choose enable compression for a smaller file size, and that looks good. Let's choose Nexus 6 and 501. So Nexus 6 5 0 1. That way we know it's our Nexus 6 and we know it's our ROM for 501. So we're going to hit go and we're going to go ahead and swipe to back up. All right, so basically it's telling me that I don't have enough space on here and I don't know why it's doing that. So I guess we will not be making a backup today, but it would obviously go through if yours is working. For some reason, mine's not, and that's getting really annoying. So we're going to go to wipe, and we're going to choose, if you do not want to wipe your internal storage, listen to me very, very carefully. If you do not have one of these, and you do not want to wipe your internal storage, listen to me carefully. You have no clue how many times I've gotten comments saying I screwed up their phone. They are the ones making the modifications to their device. They're the ones not listening. They're the ones that are screwing up. It says right here, most of the time, this is the only wipe that you need. Swipe to factory reset. That's all that is mandatory in order to install this ROM. So please, if you do not want to lose all of your data on your phone, choose this. This will wipe only the important stuff that has to be wiped in order to install ROM. I'm going to go ahead and format my data. This is optional, and this should only be done if you have one of these right here. So I'm going to type in yes and go. And it's going to wipe all of my stuff. That's probably why it wasn't going through earlier, but for some reason my titanium backup worked, so I don't know what was going on with that. It might honestly be full. I don't know. There might not have been enough space to do it. I don't know. It's only a little 32 gig. This actually supports 128, and I have 128. So I don't know why I don't just put the 128 in there. Okay, so I formatted my data. You do need to reboot to recovery if you chose to wipe your internal storage. You do need to reboot back to recovery if you chose format data. So we're back in here. We're going to go to wipe again. And this is for the more advanced people. All right. If you do not want to wipe your internal storage, which I just did, choose Dalvik, choose system, choose data, and choose cache. That's a more advanced version of the swipe to factory reset. This is something I recommend doing. It's going to wipe your system. It's going to wipe your data. It's going to wipe your Dalvik. It's going to wipe your cache. You can choose that, but I'm not going to since I already did that. And then we're going to swipe to wipe. All right, we're back. And then we're going to go to install and see our internal storage is clean. We have 55 gigs available at the moment. Our internal storage is clean. So we're going to choose USB OTG, press OK. Yeah, I don't know why it's saying it's almost full. That's weird. So also I went ahead and renamed it Titanium Backup Nexus 6. That way I wasn't confused on which. This is my daughter's phone. This is my brother's phone. This is my Nexus 5. This is my Nexus 6. So I know which one's which. So here we go. CM12 right here. Take this one, press on it. You do need to add more zips, and you need to choose the lollipop. Make sure if you're flashing CM12, you see LP. Again, I'll have a link to these in the description. Please don't worry too much about the date. If a new version comes out, it'll say 2015, January, February, the date or whatever. So make sure you're always flashing the latest one. This is the latest as of this video. So we're going to go ahead and swipe to flash. And this right here does not take very long. Now, this has changed quite a bit. They no longer use Couch's recovery. They no longer use Couch's super user. So I'm honestly not even going to tell you to flash super SU in your recovery. That is completely optional. You'll see right there, Google Apps for Android 5.0. So reboot system. I'm going to go ahead and leave this in for now because I need to restore some stuff once it's done. So we're going to see what the CyanogenMod 12 boot up screen looks like. What does it look like? We're going to find out. Oh, it's the normal one. They may change this in the future. So if you see a different thumbnail for this video, that means I flashed the newer one and I just took a quick little picture and made it the thumbnail. So this is the one they've had for a while. They may keep this one. I don't know. But if they decide to change it, then you'll see the newer one later on. So here we go. The first boot up is going to take a while. Please. The first boot up is going to take a minute because it is the very first time you're starting it up. Like any computer, you know, it just takes a minute. So do not freak out. So let's go ahead and fast forward to when it starts up. Also, I just posted that I flashed this. So if you're following me on Instagram and Twitter, you'll know when to expect new videos. So if you're following me, you know, hey, this video is about to come. So please follow me on Instagram. Just search wwjoshdew or click the link in the description. It'll take you right there. So already had someone jump on the picture already. So shout out to Inasaur. Shout out to this guy right here. And let's follow him back, actually, because he was instant with that. And then Raphael. All right, looks like we started up here. Awesome. So this is how you get through the initial screens. I'm just going to show you this. So let's go ahead and click connect to my 5 gigahertz network. And let's put in the password. All right, so we put in our password for our Wi-Fi. Let's hit connect. And it's going to check for updates. And we can do a tap and go. Basically, you can take 2 devices, tap them back to back. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit skip. That is a much easier method of doing that. But if we hit skip, oh, that's cool. The little Wi-Fi icons have little arrows in them for up and down activity. So enter in our email here. And once you enter in your email, you're going to enter in your password. And then hit next. Just a second, checking info. All right. So we're going to have reboot options. We're going to have clear all recent running apps. We're going to have a little battery percentage. Dude, this is going to be dope. I'm excited about this. All right, so we can restore all of our stuff from our Nexus 6. So I'm actually going to do that, and then I'm going to restore the data to the apps that I need. So you can choose to, nah. Also, you can go here and check like, okay, I don't want this. I don't want that. You can check all that. But let's go ahead and start fresh. Let's start fresh, shall we? All right. And back up our phone stuff, yes. Use Google location service, yes. Help improve, no. Help us improve, no. Okay, next. Awesome, look at that. Got it. All right, so we can turn up our brightness here, just like on stock. You can, all your Bluetooth. I don't know, you can still press a little text to get to the Bluetooth thing. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And then also you can get to your Wi-Fi by clicking there. And we're gonna see something. Getting 400 megabits per second. With stock, I was getting 866. Now, honestly, that may not have anything to do with, the ROM, because I also saw that last night on stock as well, but I have seen 866 tops. So that's still very good. And also, my local IP address, you can't do anything with that. That's my local internal IP address, not my external. So if you're I got comments where it's like, oh, thanks for your IP. Now I can get your location and yeah, okay, whatever. So also under advanced settings, we're going to go ahead and change some stuff in here that I always do. Awesome. I always have that unchecked just because I hate it when I get the notification. Scanning always available. No. Yes, I want my Wi-Fi on even when my screen's off. And then there you go. That's about all you have to do. That's how I have mine set up. You can choose yours differently, of course. Okay, so very little stuff. One screen or 1.5 screens basically. You've got Audio FX, browser. That looks like a really cool icon. Let's go ahead and open that. After we open the browser, it asks us to go ahead and let it log into our account. I hit OK. You have to hit OK several times. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But so location is working at the moment. And there's the browser. That's really, really cool. This is a neat little browser here. And you can sign in. This is really cool. All right, so recent apps. Look at this. Look at this. Clear all. Bam. They are gone. Let's hold down the power button. We have reboot. We can do a reboot. And I'll show you how to get more advanced options there in a second. So dragging down 2 fingers, just like stock, works. Oh, look at that. You've got a little thing right there that tells you the temperature and stuff. And you're freaking, so you don't need an external app to do that. That is freaking awesome. And it's cold as balls outside. But why is that there? That might get fixed later on in the future because we don't have any running apps and it shouldn't be there when there's no running apps. So that might get fixed in the future. This is the very first nightly. So also you'll want to take your like icons and bring them down here to have stuff. CyanogenMod is coming out with their own unique messaging app. So that's pretty cool. And we can have YouTube down there. We can have the Play Store down there. We can put Gmail down there. We can put whatever we want down there. It's really cool. So very, very little apps by default. So that's very nice. All right, let's look at the rest of these real quick. Downloads is normal. Messaging. Okay, that's the... that looks different from the one from the Play Store. So that might be a unique app. So music. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Let's download ES File Explorer real quick. Also, you're not rooted at the moment. Shout out to Zach. He's freaking awesome. He was explaining all this to me. I guess he's a developer for CyanogenMod. But, so install, accept, okay. It was a nice fluid little motion there for when it installed an app. Open that up. And now let's see if we see our internal storage is clean. Okay, it's still not showing this. So I'll unplug it and I'll plug it back in. And we'll see. With CyanogenMod 12, it actually detected USB storage on a Nexus device with CyanogenMod installed. So obviously it's not working on there. You're still going to need stick mount unless you're watching this video in the future and they have fixed that issue. So stick mount still going to be a necessity. If we go to root here, you're going to see that it's not working. So root explorer, it shouldn't work by default. See, test failed. Let's go ahead and run through all that real quick. So under settings here, you've got more and nothing unique and different on here. So under status bar, you can choose brightness control, quick pull down, show notification count, show weather. So that weather thing there, it's not there anymore. You can choose whether you want that or not. Show battery percentage inside the icon. Look at that. Look at that. It says 49. I really like that. That is freaking awesome. So you have a little number inside there. Next to the icon, you can choose to have it like that, where it's on the side. It's not there. So if you want a little bit cleaner thing there, you have a little less stuff up there. It's very nice. If we turn the Bluetooth off, you'll see even less up there. This is awesome. I really like clean status bars. That's something you do not get with the TouchWiz phone. So pulling down from the right side will get us this screen right here. Pulling down this side will get you to your notifications. Or you can bring it down twice, or you can choose 2 fingers, or you can turn this off, and now even this side brings down your notifications, as well as this side, or you can just drag down twice, or with 2 fingers. So quick pull down just makes this like that. Quick pull down off. I like it off, but it's your choice whether you want it on or off. Under buttons, you have backlight for 5 seconds. In call for the power button. No, we definitely don't want that. You can just go through all the options here. Oh, that's something else too, man. When you listen to Google Play Music, you can just get to the switch your songs by holding the button and long press the volume button to seek. So that's really neat feature that I love about CyanogenMod. It's awesome. I'm definitely super excited about this. Under display, we can choose rotation. So our device rotates even at this angle right here, upside down. So if you grabbed your phone upside down and you want to use it upside down, even your buttons will go to the bottom here and you can use your phone upside down if you want to. So I'm actually going to probably leave that enabled. So auto rotate screen. I like to choose mine 5 minutes because I'm used to pressing the power button when I'm done with it. Adaptive backlight. You can choose that if you want to. The brightness level, and bring that down. Wake unplug, double tap to sleep. Doesn't look like there's notifications at the moment, but those might come later on in the future, or you can download LightFlow and have them on right now. So under storage, we have all of our space available. Under battery, it shows you how much battery you have left. Obviously, this is a fresh install. I'm gonna have to charge the phone up, let it die, charge it up, let it die. Well, not die, but get very low, and then charge it up again to measure the percentage. So also under battery, you can reset these stats if you want. Well, actually, they're not available with CM12, but they were available with CyanogenMod 11. Again, some devices, some features will show up later once this becomes more stable or, better in the future. Also, you can choose battery saver and turn that on or off there. So about the root and stuff. Okay, that is under here. So about phone, go to build number. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Build number. And now we'll go back here and we see developer options. Now development tools. You can go in here and do this. That's not necessary. Advanced reboot. This is an important one. When you choose reboot, look at this. Now you have a soft boot, which just basically reboots Android, not the entire phone. You've got recovery and you've got bootloader. This is really cool. Stay awake when you're charging it. The screen's always on. Root access is disabled by default. Please choose apps and ADB and OK. That's it if you're an advanced user and you're wanting root access. So enable OEM unlock, allow the device to be unlocked. It's already unlocked, so I don't know why it says that. Android debugging, yes. I do not want it to notify me about debugging when I have it connected because I know that it's going to be that way. So also, they have the long press the back button. So you can long press this to kill whatever app you're using. I don't like it because I've accidentally killed apps when I didn't mean to. So I'm going to go ahead and disable that. And also you'll see, animation scale. Turn that to 0.5 for your animations to be a little bit quicker and faster. And verify apps over USB? Nah, you can choose that. I'm gonna have it disabled because when I plug my phone in my computer, I know what I'm doing. All right, so that's about it. Now you'll have root access. You'll see in just a second here. Under performance, you can change some of this stuff. This is for advanced people. Please do not go in there if you do not know what you're doing. Also, I have my brightness really low, so look at that. The recent apps button isn't there anymore. Okay, that's cool. So we'll clear all this, and it's not there. So I don't know what happened earlier, but now it's not there. So disregard that statement earlier. It's it's not there at the moment. So we'll open up ES File Explorer. We'll choose that root again. And this time, remember and allow. Nice. Now we have root access and we can do root features. So if we download an app called Root Checker, I paid for the Pro version, so I'm going to go ahead and download the Pro version right here, install. And while that's installing, I'm going to go ahead and install Titanium Backup to show you how to get your backups. So Titanium Backup plus root, install that. Okay. And also I paid for the Pro version, so I'm going to go ahead and install that. All right, we're going to download Root Checker. Well, we have it downloaded. We're going to go ahead and open it. Agree. Okay. And verify root. And then look at that. Privacy guard. Allow. There we go. Now we have root. This device has root access. So you're good there. Titanium Backup will work. Allow. Remember. So this is Super User is now actually built into the ROM. You're not downloading Super SU. You're not downloading any third-party root app. It's actually just working by default. And there's a little icon right there for root access being enabled, I guess. If you're not sure, unknown sources. Okay, so let's go ahead and your super user binary. If you encounter, please try Super SU. You can still flash Super SU. That is fine. You can do that. So I wonder in the settings here in the status bar, you don't see an option for that. So let's go to privacy. Let's try to find where that's at and maybe disable it. Okay, so I don't see an option at the moment, but if you disable it, it doesn't look like root is, so that may not be the root icon. Huh. Not sure which that is. I'm honestly not sure what that is yet. Obviously, you guys are going to tell me in the comments because you're going to find out later on after this has been out for a while. But I'm pretty sure that's a root symbol, so I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Under privacy, privacy guard. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Show built-in apps, advanced, location, personal, messaging, media, device. That's cool. And boot up? Okay. That's cool. This is really cool. I'm going to have to play with this. This is not a review. This is going over the features that are available that I'm noticing right away. So I might do a review if enough people want me to in the future. But yeah, so I'm sure that's what the root is. Manage which apps have access to your personal data. That's not, okay. So this is not the root screen. This is letting apps not have access or have access to that. So that's cool. That's awesome. So apps will be able to access your data or not. And obviously it is on 5.02 at the moment. Optionally, if you do want, you can flash Super SU in recovery. I'll show you what that looks like. Because at the moment I can't find a screen that tells you, hey, you granted this app root permission. You didn't grant this one root permission. I'm not sure where that screen is at. So let's go ahead and go to recovery. And this is purely optional. And this is also showing you that you can reboot to recovery. So install USB OTG, Super SU, swipe to flash. And we'll choose reboot system. And we can unplug it. Nope. I still need to show you Titanium Backup. So let's, okay. All right, so it's saying Android is upgrading because of that little Super SU thing that I flashed. There's a new app in our system partition, so let's go to here, and now you'll see Super SU. Install a script that, yes, you want to do that. This is optional. You don't have to flash this. This is just purely optional. I have the Pro version, so I'm going to go ahead and install that. And then under Super SU, I'm just going to show you all the things I change. Reauthentication. Uncheck that. Anytime an app has an update, it will ask you for root again. And mount user space separation, you'll want to uncheck that so Titanium Backup will not give you any errors. And if this thing right here is like black, now it's actually there. It's stuck. So and if you flash a new nightly, you'll have Super SU. And see, I can go in here and go to my apps and see what all apps have been granted root. and what apps haven't. So also, what you're going to want to do now, if you flash that, is go to developer options and choose root access and choose disabled. So now we'll go to Super SU here, and unless this box is checked, you didn't actually disable root. So you just disabled root with CyanogenMod, and now that little thing is not there anymore. So I was correct. That was about having root access enabled. So, all right, there we go. There we go. Let's open Titania backup up. Now that I have the pro version, oh, grant root permission. There we go. It has been granted root permission. I can go to menu, preferences, and then, oh, backup folder location. Okay, so it's not going to detect my external storage because I need to flash, or I need to install stick mount. All right, I'm going to go ahead and install both because I paid for the pro. There's a trend there. I always pay for pro versions when a good app is available. All right, so okay, let's go ahead and download that. No thanks, I'm already following him. Click mount, grant it root access. And it's going to say 32 gig was mounted, sweet. So now when we open Titanium backup and we hit detect whole device, see, it found all of my devices. So Titanium backup Nexus 6, use current folder. When I'm gonna go ahead and choose my options in here as well, since I'm already here, backup app external data, always, compression, slowest, and default update enabled. Okay, sweet. So now look at this. Emulated legacy USB storage 32 gig Titanium backup Nexus 6. Now look, all the apps that I backed up are right here. And I can choose Swift key, and I can choose restore, and then app plus data. All right, and eventually we'll restore this app. This is already a very long video, so let's go ahead and end it here. This was the how to prepare, how to install, what to do after you install, and restore stuff. This was a very in-depth video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up by clicking the like button below. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate it, and you'll see many more videos on the Nexus 6, the Note 4, and many more devices. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to stay in the know, if you want to connect with me, if you want to know what my Xbox Live and PlayStation names are. Please follow me on my various social media accounts. All links are in the description below. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.